This is Gargoyles Remastered. We're here on Xbox Series X. Be sure to like the video. Subscribing is great as well. So this is Gargoyles Remastered. If you're not familiar with what Gargoyles is, it was a show back in the day, a show I actually liked when I was young. It's been quite a long time. I'm actually surprised they sort of bothered remastering the game. It's honestly a bit of a shock, but kind of a cool thing, and I love when they revamp historical games like this. So what's really interesting here is we've got the regular sort of upgraded version. This might not be what you're familiar with. If you press RB, you can go back and see that original vision for the game. Now, I will say this is the correct way to do remasters, to allow you to toggle between the two versions. With that, I will say that the new direction, while I think, stylized in its visual aesthetic, kind of cartoon-wise, I think it looks really good, doesn't really seem to match the tone of the original version. I know that sounds really weird, I do think it is like an upgrade, I have to say, and it does, to me, match the Gargoyles aesthetic that I am, that I'm kind of used to from so many years ago, but just tonally, it's very, very different. But it's cool that you can switch between both versions. So if you like the original version, you can just kind of stick with it. And I think that in itself is fantastic. There's also, if you press, we'll grab this, another really cool feature, and I like when they do this in retro games, is the rewind. So you can press LB, your character will, go back in time, and you'll rewind and do, basically the section again. And, yeah, to me, that's pretty cool that is a feature. We jump down. Oh, jeez. Yeah. There's also a few different difficulty options. So you can kind of choose the original difficulty, or you can go and or you can choose an enhanced difficulty option like I have, where you are doing medium but with a new iteration on it. How do I do a drop? There we go, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, some of the control movements, it doesn't, I don't know, it's kind of hard to tell where some things are. The new version helps with that a lot, I think, in regards to being oh, they're supposed to do something here. It doesn't really tell you how to get through areas, which is kind of funny. Wonder if I was younger, I would have just figured it out, which is kind of humorous. But yeah, it's kind of, it's neat. I like it. I like what they got going on for this. It's a strange remastering to me. I like that they did it. I'm always down for intriguing old school games like this. Seriously, it's kind of really neat to actually have something like this available. Because a lot of games that are like this are very likely to be sort of forgotten, if that makes any sense. They just, not many games get love or care, and they just kind of get forgotten, or licensing issues, and yeah, it's genuinely kind of cool that this is something that we've got present and available for us. It's an interesting platforming, brawling kind of game. There's an element of difficulty to it, especially if you go with the original version of the game. It's got a bit of an edge to it, that is for sure. But yeah, it's really, really quite fascinating replaying this sort of thing. Now, it is, it's a retro game, so do have reasonable, kind of expectations for, length and gameplay and what this is. It's still that original version. It's just been upgraded with some nice little small features and some small, nice little improvements. So honestly, not really anything to complain about, because I'm just kind of oh, this is really cool that this is present. This is nice quality of life upgrades. it's cool to introduce it to, you know, perhaps a new generation to check it out, especially since that now it's not necessarily as grueling as it used to be, but, I mean, you can still play on the original version if you kind of want that kind of thing. Oh, come on. That is actually annoying. Come on, Gargoyle. Yeah, that one is, I guess I could just rewind every time that I kind of miss there. See, that's the timing of it. I don't even know how you would really honestly even notice where you're supposed to go sometimes in that original version. It's so dark, so like it is visually cleaned up. Oh no! Haha! I'm not dead yet. That's the magic of rewind! Rewinding, probably one of the coolest features we've got for retro games, just to make them a lot more playable. I do ponder, and I've said this for other kind of videos and some of my stream stuff, where I'm kind of like, I wonder if someday we'll see that for games that I've like kind of grown up with, that are like big 3D games, and we're gonna have like a rewind feature for those someday. Would be kind of funny to see, because obviously, you know, we're getting rewinds for these old games. Back in the day, that wouldn't even be a thing, but oh. She's a little bit of an issue, isn't she? There we go. She was a problem. A little bit of a gargoylean problem. Yeah, it's not a bad platformer at all. It's like actually kind of fun. Stop the invasion. So Vikings are invading the gargoyles. See, I don't even really remember the plot. I remember Keith David. It really has been like a long time. Like I actually kind of forgot about gargoyles in general over the years, but yeah, it's really cool to see it brought back like this. Kind of random too, but I appreciate it. Oh, come on.